Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Carlos. Today, I'm going to be expressing some thoughts on diet, cutting, staying in shape, today's workout, leg session, vertical press, a whole bunch of stuff today. So, let's just get right into it. First things about diet. A lot of people who get into lifting and they want to look good, they want to look muscular, they want to develop a certain physique and everything. They think that the way to go or the only way to go is by lifting weights. This can take you quite a distance, especially if you're really young. Like if you haven't developed high body fat, you really don't need to modify your body composition other than just making muscle. Then yeah, you start lifting and you start developing muscle and you're going to look good and all of this. For older guys, for most people, actually, the secret is not in the lifting. The secret is in the food and the intake and your energy balance. And this is where a lot of people spin their wheels year after year after year. They think that by eating a lot of food, gaining weight, and lifting big, they're going to achieve their goals. A lot of these guys that do achieve their goals are doing PEDs, they're doing other things besides. And so for most people, they're led astray by the idea that lifting weights is going to build them the physique that they want. Halfway, it's a half truth. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of people that are going to tell you, listen, just by lifting, you're not going to get where you want to go. You have to modify your food. You have to adjust your calories. You have to know what you're doing with quote unquote nutrition. And by nutrition, it also means the amount of food you eat. Calories could be considered a macronutrient. I don't know if it's technically so, but if you're eating more food than you need or than you burn, you're just going to get fat. Okay. Now, if you get fat, you're going to get bulky. You will get strong, but you will never, ever achieve the look that you want, especially if you're an older guy, you're natural, you don't do steroids. It's going to be an uphill battle. You probably never get there. And you're thinking, why? What is the magic sauce? What is it that I'm doing wrong? Well, how come I'm not looking the way I want to look? It's because you eat too much. You're not counting your macros. You're not counting your calories. You're clueless as far as food goes. So you think by eating healthy food, healthy quote unquote, like granola bars and cereals and things that are high sugar and most people don't know better. I went through all these mistakes myself. So by eating proper nutritious food, but not knowing how much you're eating, again, you're never going to achieve your goal. So how is it that people do this? Well, first of all, you have to count your calories. That's right. You have to know what it is that you're eating. And to start the process, what you need to do is that you need to track your calories for a week or two, hopefully for 2 weeks, and include everything that you presently eat. Every single cookie, all your cheat meals, all the junk. You go out to Wendy's, you slam down 2 cheeseburgers and a fry and a huge thing of Coke. You write it down. Like this is an extra, you have to be honest with yourself, okay? So you track everything for 2 weeks. And, say you weigh 232 pounds and you've been eating, some days you eat 4,000 calories. One day, you eat 3,200. The other day you binge, you had 5,000. You have to write everything down. You have to log in everything truthfully as you are status quo to maintain your 232-pound fat bulk or whatever it is. If you're 150, I'm just using an example. So you have to track where you are at the present moment. Not where you want to be, not how many calories somebody said you need to eat, but how many calories you actually consume to stay the way you are at present time. Once you know what you are eating and how many calories you eat to stay in your present condition, then you can then you can apply a program. You can't start a diet and tracking program if you don't know where you are at the present. So this is the most crucial part of starting your diet deficit or whatever it is that you need. Some people need to increase their calories. Okay, so for most people, you want to lose weight, you want to lose a body fat, you need to know where you are. Once that is done, this initial phase, the most important part, because how can you start to go on a deficit if you don't know how many calories to cut? You just can't go willy-nilly saying, oh, I'm going to cut 1,000 calories a day and think you're going to get there. Another mistake. If you go too low, you're going to go low energy. You're just going to blow your diet. You're going to get off track. You're going to lose muscle. It's just not the way it's done. So you have to know exactly where you are at the present time. So, okay, you got that out of the way. Man, I've been eating 4,000 calories. We're going to take a fictional character, call him Joe. He's weighing 232 pounds. He's eating 4,000 calories. He eats 5 cookies at night. He goes out to Wendy's 3 times a week. He has beer on the weekend. He has a 12-pack. And he's just eating like a slob. Okay, now he needs to get in shape. We know where to start. And now we start cutting the calories. Now, if he's really focused and he's going to adhere, because this is the thing. If you're not going to follow through, don't even start. These false starts, these half-ass attempts, and you're not going to adhere, it's worse. It be better off just staying the way you are. Frankly, I believe this is so. Because this is the yo-yo dieting that gets people their metabolism messed up, and they end up gaining more weight. They end up getting frustrated and blaming it on God knows what, everything except their own lack of self-discipline and their lack of focus to adhere over a long period of time. You need to commit to something. You're going to go to school. You're going to go to the university. You want to get a degree. You don't go half the time. You don't take half the tests. You have to focus and do this thing over a long period of time, a semester, say, over 4 months, 3.5 months. If you know that you can commit to 3-4 months of diet, then this is going to work. So now you know how many calories you need to stay as a slob. Now you want to get fit. Okay, 4,000 calories, we're going to bring that down by 15-20%. Maybe that's too much. Well, maybe it isn't. Let's say 4,000 calories, you're going to bring it down to 3,200 calories. Okay? Now we can have a plan of attack. Now we know how many calories to cut. So in this plan, while you're lifting, you're going to do 1 gram per pound of body weight. Lean body weight, these are calculations that you don't need to do. Just gunshot, just shotgun it. 1 gram per body weight. That means you're going to do 232 grams. How much fat? Well, half of that. You're going to do about 100 grams of fat. For now, because this is all going to be modified as we walk through this journey. 100 grams of fat. How many carbs? Well, twice as much as that. So it's basically 230 grams of protein, 250 grams more or less of carbohydrates, and 100 grams of fat. Now, this should put you in deficit from this high, place that you're starting at, right? Once you start on this deficit and you are already on a lifting program, then as you start dropping weight, you will modify these parameters accordingly. Once you drop, say, down to 220 pounds, 215 pounds, you start to drop the carbs even more. The fat should go down proportionally also from 100 grams to, say, 80 grams. What we're shooting for here, I haven't taken into account your height. These are just general parameters. This is just because if you want to do this correctly, you need to find a coach or reach out to somebody who knows, perhaps me. I'm not charging. I'm not here to be a trainer or anything. I'm just giving out general information. And once you are on track, listen, I'm in this condition. We need to adjust and focus. These are just basic general parameters. First, you need to start off where you are with all your you log in everything you're doing and track. Once you're on the path, then you start to cut and you start to drop according to how you feel and how you look. So now you drop some body weight. Now you're down from, say, 230 to 210. But you need to go down to 190 pounds, right? Or 185 pounds, as the case may be. Or 180, I don't know. That's a lot of weight, though. 190. Say you're shooting for 190 pounds. So now, as those initial parameters, 3,200 calories, we're going to bring them down to 3,000 calories or 2,900 calories. Always maintain the proportion of protein higher. Stay at 230 grams the whole time. Make it a high protein diet. Bring the fat down. All the fat that you eat, if it's more than, it's going to go straight to your body fat. To lose the body fat while lifting, you should bring your dietary fat down. I bring it down to 30, 40, 50 grams, to be honest. Because if you're eating high protein and somewhat high carb, all this extra fat, dietary fat, is just going to go straight to your fat cells. It's not going to do any other benefit but just be stored as body fat. So now we're going to bring the carbohydrates down. You don't touch your protein in the whole journey. You're going to keep it high, 230. So you start out to 250 grams of carbohydrate, say, just general. You're going to bring it down to 220, 200. And as you progress, you're going to do some carb cycling. This is very general parameters again. Carb cycling is some days you're going to go pretty damn low. You're going to go down to 100 grams, say for 2-3 days. You can't stand it, go high again. You go back to 250. On the next day, you go down to 200, and then you do 3 days where you're down to 120, 100 grams. And this is how, very general parameters, you lose body fat and you lose body weight while still retaining muscle. To retain muscle, you have to eat high protein. If you go low protein, you're going to lose muscle mass. That's just the way it is. That's, this is not just science. This is empirical evidence, personal experience, the experience of others. You can't just blow this off the wayside. No, you don't need that much protein. Yes, you do. If you're lifting weights and you want to maintain muscle mass, you got to eat protein, bro. That does not mean 500 grams. Doesn't mean 400. 200 to 250 for a typical male is just fine. And you adjust the carbohydrates as you can, because, listen, this is the other thing. If you feel that you're going to binge, you're going to lose your mind, you just can't focus, you can't function, then you have to bring the calories up a little bit, to the point where you're functioning again, and that means bringing up your carbohydrates. It doesn't mean blasting pizza and spaghetti for 3 days until I'm carved up. No, that's not how you carb up. You carb up reasonably with somewhat, moderate, like 200 to 250. Pros, when they're going like balls to the wall and they're dieting and they're like super depleted, this means 5 days no carbs, then they'll do 1 day with double the carbs of maintenance, which means, they'll do a 500 gram carbohydrate day. But this is for exceptional competitors. They're completely depleted. Their glycogen stores are gone. So that means that all the carbohydrates that they eat will go into their muscles and not into their fat cells. All this while not eating very much dietary fat, because this doesn't mean that you go out and binge. I'm going to eat 500 grams of carbs. I'm just going to have, fat burgers, and I'm going to have, all this junk with a lot of fat. All that fat's just going to go straight into your fat cell, and you can set your diet back by 2 or 3 weeks. And if you do that mentally, you're going to screw it up. You're going to get off track. You're going to lose the plot, and then you're going to blow the diet, and you're going to blame everybody but yourself. Don't do this. This is for people who need to adhere or can adhere to a long-term diet. Okay, so getting the diet out of the way, we're going to get into what I did today on my lifts. Today, I was a little bit higher energy, even though I haven't been carbing up or anything like that. I've just been maintaining my status quo. I think it's like the second week now at 186 pounds. And I'm feeling kind of comfortable with this because I feel like physically I can see myself in the mirror. I can see improvements. So since I'm not competing, I'm not going to get on stage. I want to do this just for myself, but I want to accomplish this. I'm not taking things to extremes. So I'm maintaining there. With my diet, it's fine. I don't want to go high or low. I'm going to stay there as long as visually I'm seeing the proper changes. So today, I got in a fairly decent workout, did 5 sets of leg curls. Always start with my leg exercises or my leg sessions with leg curls, so I can, with my knee joints, I do the antagonistic movement. So if I start off with leg extensions to warm up, it's actually going to hurt my knees, or it's going to fatigue my knees. Okay, so we got that. Got the leg curl, then did standing calf raises. Now this I got a tip from Hunter Labrada on some of his videos. Excellent educational advice for you guys who are really into bodybuilding. Go and check out Hunter Labrada. He's putting out top quality information, and I have to shout him out for this. I'm not stealing other people's information, although this is just general knowledge. This is physiology 101. So all standing calf raise, you're not going to go all the way down until the Achilles tendon is the only thing that's putting where you have your pressure on. You lower your calf to the point where the muscle is stretched, but not to the point where all the pressure's on the tendon, which means you don't go all the way down trying to stretch your calf, right? You just go down to the point where it's somewhat stretched, not totally, and then you come up and flex. You crunch that calf, and you maintain the contraction for a few seconds. You do this at a slow cadence and do between 12 and 15 reps. Don't go super high reps. Yeah, the calf, I've done 50 reps. I've done 100 reps. I've done cluster sets where it's just like never ending. No, you want to put like a certain amount of resistance to it to where you're failing at your 13, 14, 15 rep range. And then you add 10 more pounds. Rest for 2 minutes. Don't do this thing where I only rest for 30 seconds. You're not going to get the benefit of the full set. You're going to fatigue fast. Yes, it's a good way to cluster, but it's not an effective way to build on a set program. So if you want to do 5 sets of proper reps, you're not going to do that properly if you're only resting for 30 seconds. Give it at least 90 seconds, okay? So add 10 more pounds, do another 15 reps, bring it all the way up, crunch, hold for 2 seconds, and then, you do these movements slowly where you're really flexing that calf muscle. They will grow. Okay, from there, we went to the vertical leg press. What a machine. I've never done this before in my life. I've seen it done on the Smith machine. Oh, God. Pressing on a bar with your feet. It just didn't seem like, never got into it, never wanted to do it, never did it. But today, they installed this new vertical press in the gym, and I had to try it out. I saw Flex Lewis do this on a video, and I've seen other guys do them on videos. And I said, man, this is the bomb. This is like, it just hits the leg at a certain angle and no fatigue on the knees, even though on the video I wrap my knees. Why? Because I feel like it, okay? And I will. For you trolls, why do you wrap your knees? That's not hardcore. Well, I do anyway. So what? Fuck you. I'm sorry. Sorry, excuse that. Blurp that out. So, yeah, I do the knee wrap just because anything that puts like compound flexion on the knee and on the hip, I will use a wrap because it's not like, oh, it takes like 100 pounds off your lift. No, it doesn't. It takes like 10 to 15 pounds. Like if you really wrap them, like for a competition with like these super stiff wraps, maybe it'll give you like 30, 40, maybe 50 pounds. I've heard, not 100. It's no big deal. It's better to play it safe than sorry. So this is what I do. Anyways, 2 plates, man, I got a pump. It was like the adductors, the ham, the quad, everything was just, it was like the most beautiful set I've done in a long time. Sometimes when I do the squats, I have to overcome the knee thing. It's like, you have to be careful with these things. Some guys don't have any problems. They can free squat 600 pounds. God bless you. I used to do really heavy weights, free squat, with no wraps, no nothing. And, if you can do them, that's great. Eventually you'll need wraps. That's all I can say. So I'm doing the wraps. Anyways, last set, put on 2.5 plates, 12 reps, like fast, but man, I focus. It's like you're just banging them out. No, I'm not just banging them out. I'm really focusing. As I'm doing this thing, I'm really focusing on the leg to get the contraction, to get the push on the leg, and it felt awesome. From there, I went and did my chest routine. I do it on my leg day because I'm not doing like super heavy chest. I tore my left pec and I'm rehabbing. At the start I said I wasn't going to do any bar movements for the chest until 2 months after 2 months later. That was the 6th of June. Today is the, today's the 31st of July, and I've been doing this now for 2 weeks. So up the weight, plate and a 5 kilo on each side, 155 pounds, it's very lightweight, guys. I was doing like 2.5 plates, 3 plates for my bench press. I wasn't doing like 3 plates for workouts, but 2.5 plates was my working weight range. And so I'm accustomed to heavy weight. A plate and 5 pounds, plate and 10 pounds is nothing, but man, a pec tear will put the fear of God into you, if anything will. And God forbid, I don't want to hurt myself again. So I'm taking it really slow. I got the progression with just 1 plate and a 5 pound up to 5 sets of 12 reps. 5 sets, 12 reps. Nice, plenty of work. 60 reps, 72 reps, whatever. Today I brought it up. I was going to, take a risk. Shit, time to up the weight a little bit. So I upped to 10 pounds, 155, and I got 5 sets of 8. Very easy. It just felt easy, felt safe. Easy and safe. That's what I want to feel with a bench press for the foreseeable future, as a matter of fact. I'm not, I don't want to hurt myself. I'm not interested in going up to two plates, 2.5 and 3, and banging out heavy weights for the time being until I absolutely know that I will not get hurt. So that was that for today. That was the session, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. That vertical leg press made my day. I want to do it again and again and again. That one I do want to build up some weight into. I want to get up to 4, 5, 6 plates one of these days. 6 plates, that's a little bit too ambitious. I'm letting my mouth get ahead of me. Say 3.5 plates and 4. That'll be my short-term goal or medium goal. Next session, I will definitely take it up to 3 plates. 2.5 felt easy. I got 12 reps easy, but leave well enough alone. Don't want to get like terrible DOMs in the next few days. So since I've never done that exercise, I thought it was a great place to start. That's it. It's just basic general information today. Just putting it out there. Anyways, guys, thanks for joining. Guys and girls, we have to be gender neutral now. I don't know, just saying. For everybody out there that listens to me, thank you for joining me. I love you all. God bless you all. Until next time.